record. And we're
Hello,
recording.
Pog's monologue, 85th time.
It's it's from that episode of Always Sunny.
I know what it's from.
Are you sure? Okay.
It's the very first episode.
Yeah, like the very, very first episode. What an episode, too. What a first episode.
It really starts off with a bang, don't it?
Yeah, like you know that from that moment on, you knew what kind of show this was going to be. But yep, here we are doing another episode of Adventures in Loxos.
It's not fun, man.
Yeah, and so before we even begin this episode, I'm going to deliver the tragic news that our good friend Mindok here, this will be his last episode for a while. He's having to step away for personal reasons. I'm not at liberty to really talk about, it's not my place, but he's got to step away for a while.
Yes, Ponyo.
What in the shit?
Back for a while. Oh, you'll survive. Come now.
I don't know about that.
He'll be back. He'll be back. I talked to him. He'll be back. He's gonna get a message from me at least like once a month, being like, "Did you get it taken care of? Did you get it taken care of yet?"
Just every day.
Just like
Again?
every day,
Every day.
like once a day, you're gonna get a message from me being like, "You ready?
Just before bedtime.
You ready? You ready?" Did you get that? Did you get it? Did you get it? But yeah.
Oh Lord.
So that's pretty tragic. But on a positive note, Dragonz is now able to return and play. So he will be returning. So it's the weirdest thing. It's like we're losing one and gaining one. So that's just crazy how that worked out.
It's alchemy.
Oh, fuck, we're losing the good one.
No comment.
I will smite thee.
But Dragonz will be returning to play to Thali. Mindok will be leaving, and we will be losing the twins for a while, which is something that I mentioned the last time he had to step away. I'm like, you create the most interesting characters, and then we never get to see them through to fruition.
Yeah.
I got the worst set of hiccups right now. I'll try and like get rid of them, but
Put yourself in the gut.
yeah, they're wrecking me pretty hard too.
Never
Anyway,
works when you try.
no, you just gotta kind of forget that you have them, and then they go away. At least that's what this one dude told me, how he gets rid of hiccups with his kids. He said it's a mind game. When my kids have hiccups, I'm like, "You got hiccups?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, well." And then he asks them, then he just asks them a question. And he gets them talking about like their day or their like favorite show right now or something. And by the time they're done with their full explanation to him, their hiccups have gone away. And he's like, "That's because I've made them forget that they have hiccups." He said, "Unfortunately, now that you know the trick, it will never work on you." So, I don't know. Anyways, though, so, with that said, in honor of Dragonz returning, AGTX the Dragonz, he will be playing Thali, the Fox-type Rakshasa, because in our homebrew campaign, there are several different kinds of Rakshasa, just besides your typical, the one that anybody who's ever played Dungeons and Dragons, TTRPGs, knows what a Rakshasa is, knows that they're like tiger or leopard style, cougar style looking beings. Well, ours, not so much. I mean, they can be, but you can get different kinds of variations of them. And one type is the fox type. And so, Dragonz, welcome back, buddy. Did you happen to remember that every session we open up with a nifty little fact about and I'm asking you, I'm not saying that you did, I'm just asking, do you remember that we usually give some kind of funny little fact about the character with that perhaps the rest of the party doesn't know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, are you able to just come up with one off the top of your head?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What's a fun fact about Tathali?
She does not like belly rubs.
She does not like belly rubs. Well, that's a shame because she looks like she's primed and ready for a belly rub. She just looks like the type that you just want to rub the belly.
And that's how you lose a hand.
That's a real shame. No belly rubs for Tathali. Oh boy, you grouch. But that's Tathali, the fox type Roxasha druid.
Yeah.
Yes. And in remembrance, or in our eulogy for the twins as it stands right now, we have the twin elves, high elves, Itarion and Sir Salixel. Now, Mindok, I know that perhaps you didn't think you would have to do this since you're leaving, but that would be you would have really underestimated just how petty I am.
Nice.
So the twins, as you know, as we've come to know them, are a pair of high elves who are very flashy. They are very flashy, to say the least. And what is a fun little fact about the twins, Itarion and Sir Salixel?
Okay, so we've established that they're like low-key elven ability. But like, despite all that weirdness, some traits of that kind of remain, and they do that annoying fucking thing where like the people with too much money do, where like they go to a restaurant, they order like, some expensive ass thing, it's like heaps of food, and then they eat like 5 bites of it and fucking like leave it.
Like that scene in Pulp. Huh?
There's no sense of like food wastage.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Pulp Fiction where John Travolta and Uma Thurman get up and go to the bathroom, and when they come back, their food is sitting there, and they never even touch it. Not once. She even mentions how nice it is when you get up and go to the bathroom and come back, and your food is sitting there waiting for you, and then they never touch it. They never touch it. They I think they like taste the milkshake one time, and then they both light up cigarettes and never touch the food. Not once in the entire scene. I was like, good grief. Of course, they do both get up and go to the bathroom, and like they go to individual bathrooms. Of course, they don't go to the bathroom together, and they go in there and they do like loads of drugs, and then they come back and like yeah. So like they probably weren't hungry to begin with, but still, I mean, it's ridiculous.
For sure.
Yeah.
Tangent 1.
Well, okay. Then we have Eom, our Woodwode. He's our Woodwode brawler is slowly what he's becoming. And a Woodwode is like a male dryad, Only he's not tied to a tree. He is the tree, I guess you could say. What is a fun fact about Eom this week, Android?
Oh, I got a brilliant one for us this week.
Yeah.
So, on Eom's back left shoulder blade, he has trees that have little knots in them that have carved out holes.
Mm-hmm.
Inside of Eom has one of those on his back left shoulder blade, and inside of it lives a squirrel.
Oh my gosh.
Eom already has a pet.
Fuck you, Eom.
What does it do most of the time? Like,
It chills.
It just chills. It's hibernating right now.
It goes off and does its own thing. He doesn't actually treat it like a pet. He treats it like, well, yeah, of course. Trees harbor squirrels. It's not that big a deal. I don't tell him what to do. He doesn't tell me what to do.
Interesting. He's got a squirrel living in his shoulder. He's gonna check one day. It's just gonna be in there dead.
Yeah, straight up. He's not worried about it. He doesn't actually take care of it or anything. It's just there.
It
develops as an itch. And one day he had Mag take a look at it, and she was like, well, there's your problem. You got a squirrel in here, Eon. And he's like, well, leave it alone. That's what squirrels do.
She's like, they're pets. They're vermin. Funny.
Is Icy jealous?
I would never, perchance.
Never. I would never. Speaking of Icy 2305 will be playing Takashi Ryu, the South Island Orc. And I do distinguish them because there are several types of orc. And what sets a South Island orc apart from your typical orc is
They're from the south side, bro.
they're not these tall, muscular, it's not Conan. He's not like Conan the Barbarian in orc form. They're actually rather short. They're like 5 foot to 5.5 feet tall, think a dwarf, but they're tanky. Like comic book accurate Wolverine, just these short little mounds of muscle. And Takashi was abducted, we'll say, from his island home and brought pretty much across the world of Loxos on ocean to a whole nother continent, the continent of Peng Shun, and that's why he knows the martial abilities of the sword and stuff. It basically he left the Caribbeans, ended up in Japan. Is basically what happened there. And yeah, so that's why he's like a samurai. And yeah, what's a fun little fact about Takashi?
Swing back to me on that one.
You have all week. I feel like you guys are overthinking this. I feel like you guys overthink this a little bit. Just feel like he doesn't like mustard. All right, so we'll come back to him. Next we have Tempest Inferno, who will be playing Lucian Starwhisker, a Tabaxi warlock. And a Tabaxi are basically like humanoid cat people, but they're like, tall like regular people. They're not the size of your typical house cat. And in fact, Lucian is rather tall. He's like at 6 foot something. And yeah, he's a warlock. So, Tempest, what's a fun fact about Lucian this week?
Well, I got two for you because technically I owe you two. So, first one, if you take your attention to Discord, it's what he looks like when he smiles.
Oh my god.
That is how he smiles.
Uh-huh. I'm
The second
gonna
one.
have to do a splicey of that in here. Yeah.
You're welcome. The second one, you know when you grab a cat by the neck and it just basically like freezes, can't move?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing happens to Lucian if you do that to him. He's just immobile until you let go.
Oh my gosh. He's got so many like this weird little
Some
quirks.
negatives.
Yeah, so many weird little quirks. He's lactose intolerant, allergic to avocado. But, you know, it becomes weak with strawberries. And now, if an ogre grabs him by the scruff of his neck and picks him up, he's just going to be frozen. Like, can't move. I feel like I'm going to remember that. I feel like that's going to come into play at some point within the.
It does.
And that is Lucian Star Whisker. Then we have Cassid69.
Hey, yo.
Who will be playing Agaragis, the Mycetid Pion Mender. Mycetid are like tiny mushroom folks. Well, short, small mushroom folk. They're not really tiny, but they're mushroom people, humanoid mushroom people. They're like 4 foot tall. Think like halfling size, if you will. Like the size of a hobbit, if you don't know what a halfling is. Yeah. And a Pion Mender, actually, I've said Pion Mender many a times before. That is a homebrewed class we created for the Mycetid. And it's basically a little buff machine. The Pion Menders can do a lot of different kinds of heals and cures and this and detoxes and this and that. They can do a bunch of like little nifty little things like that. And yeah, Agaragis is a little Pion Mender Mycetid person. What's a fun fact about Agaragis this week?
All right, y'all bear with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Buried.
All right, so he's got like a belly button, right?
Yeah.
But like, you know how there's like a cup-shaped skin left at the very bottom of the stem from when the mushroom was a tiny thing?
Sure.
Technically, that is called a vulva, and it's on its neck.
Ah. Why is it on his neck?
Mind your business.
Oh my
Here.
god.
Isn't that terrible?
I hate it here.
I can't with Agaragis, man. I just can't. Everything about them is just so it's slowly breaking me. I'm getting to a point where I'm going to make you guys roll sanity checks just to look at them. Oh my gosh. Okay. And for anybody watching this is mainly a audio more than a visual little show that we do here. but I do present pictures and things like that. And for anybody watching and seeing that picture of a Gargus there, you might notice that they have a crow on top of their head. That is Crow. It actually belongs to it actually belongs to Mindok's character, but he's leaving, but it still remains Mindok's character. Mindok in the main storyline with the main characters. These are all everybody's side characters. We're doing a fun little jaunt into side characters. Mindok's main
to pick up a couple of side pieces.
Sure. I think, and hear me out, but I think it would be really smart for somebody to open up a restaurant like Kentucky Fried Chicken or Chick-fil-A. But I think it would be smart because, Chick-fil-A is delicious, but they're never open on Sundays. So I think it would be smart for somebody to open up a chicken restaurant, build their restaurant right next to Chick-fil-A, and be open on Sundays and call their place Side Chick. But that's just me. Anyways, but with that being said, I think that with what's going on with Mindok having to leave, we're going to be seeing more of Crow than we are going to be seeing of Mindok's main character, who is a high elf wizard named Mindok. Crow is his familiar. Somehow, and I don't, even to this day, and I've thought about it many a times, I'm not entirely sure how Crow ended up with Agargus, but they've just been hanging out. So that's going to be really interesting. It's going to be like Mindok's here without him being here, with having Crow just still hang out with Agargus. But we'll figure that out. Takashi, you come up with your fun fact yet? Well, what's your fun fact? Let me put it to you like this. What's your fun fact? It's your turn now.
Takashi, with his new sword, is gonna try to use both of them at the same time at every fight now.
Okay. Cool deal. Sounds good.
I am gonna stab myself on accident.
Well, we'll see. Time will tell. And I'm Lord Pog of Lord Pog Gaming. I am the DM of this series that we do. I DM this group. I call them them old school gamers. I call them them old school gamers because we don't actually play 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. We play 3.5. And, I debated on what my fun fact was going to be because I was thinking, do I tell a fun fact that, people are going to be like, well, duh, everybody yada, yada, yada. Or was I going to tell one that was going to be like just completely, that was going to have everybody being like, there is no stinking way. Right. But, my fun fact, and it's something that I personally believe, and I've had a lot of debate about it. I've said this to people and had them be like, well, yeah, they do. And then I've had people tell me straight up, no, it all tastes the same. But I personally believe that Gatorade has not just different colors, but I truly feel like all Gatorade has different flavors. I've had a lot of people tell me that no, it all tastes the same, and I'm like, there's no way. You mean to tell me that if you taste like blue ice Gatorade, for instance, or blue Gatorade, whatever you want to call it, blue ice Gatorade, and you taste lemon Gatorade, you can't tell that you're drinking lemon Gatorade as opposed to blue Gatorade?
Yeah. Have you ever had one of those lime cucumbers?
No, see, I haven't. I haven't had I haven't had fancy Gatorade. I think the fanciest I've ever gotten was like light blue Gatorade. From dark blue to light blue,
Yeah.
I think is like the most fancy I've ever gotten with my Gatorade. But yeah, I mean, and I mean, you could make the argument because they have sugar-free Gatorade, and that, of course, is going to taste different because you're going to drink it and you're going to be like, "What is this trash?" But you know, I truly feel like Gatorade. You know, you could blindfold me and I could tell the difference in the different colors of Gatorade. I can't tell you like, you know, what their particular flavor might be. Like, what'd you say? Cucumber Gatorade? What was that?
Lime cucumber.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you that. I probably wouldn't be able to, but I'd be like, this is not orange. this is not orange. I don't know what this is, but it's not orange, you know? But I could tell you the difference between grape, orange, blue, and yellow. Easy I could do that.
Whoever said that tastes the same needs to have their head checked.
I don't know.
Or their tongue.
I've had people. I've heard people argue it with me before. I've said this at different jobs, and I've had people be like, "No, I don't taste the same," and I'm like, "No, it doesn't though. It doesn't though."
Did you also tell them cocaine's a hell of a drug?
I mean,
That's usually what you follow that up with.
I mean, I wasn't going to imply anything about my own personal recreational habits, but
I was talking about theirs, but yeah.
yeah, it's just the craziest thing to me that, you know, some people out there believe that all Gatorade tastes the same. I did watch a guy one time say that, you know, because, you know, Fruit Loops, right? He said that he said that he could tell the difference in Fruit Loops by just smelling them.
Yeah, that person.
Wow.
Touch.
I was watching it. They had him blindfolded and he was taking each Fruit Loop and he was smelling it and going, "This is orange," and eating it. And then he'd smell it and go, "This is purple," and then eat it. And everybody's like, "How are you doing that?" And he goes, "The lighter ones just, they smell light. I don't know how to explain it. They smell light." He could tell the difference in them. It was crazy. I was like, no way. No way. He was cheating somehow. But you never know.
Almost 100%.
Almost 100%. It's like that episode of Community when he's like, he's handing him the little candy hearts from Valentine's Day, you know, that got the little messages on it. And he's handing him it. He's blindfolded and he'd smell them and go, "It says kiss me," and then eat it and then taste it and spit it. And he's like, "Whoa, this is crazy," you know, but every time he does it, you see his head tilt and then he, you know what I mean? And then he does the little thing and then he's like, we could take this show on the road. And he looks at him and goes, I've been cheating. And he goes, "I didn't see that on one of the hearts anywhere in the back." Anyways, I don't know. If you never watched Community, it won't come off as funny, but yeah, that show's hilarious. All right, so there's my fun fact, though. I think Gatorade, I think you could, you know, that it has different flavors. Some people may disagree, but, you know, apparently,
that doesn't make you special.
Yeah, apparently nobody here does. I think everybody here thinks that they taste the same, so. No, I suppose it doesn't, Cassid. I suppose I'd need a belly button on my neck to be special, but anyways.
By definition.
By definition, yes. We're gonna need to get you a rubber helmet or something. Anyways, this keeps on. Yes, so with that said, I guess we'll do the intro and then we'll do a quick recap.
Gotta love that intro, huh?
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, so the quickest of recaps. You guys all went down into the shop known as Dark Gifts for one Howard Winchester III. He had accidentally opened up a portal. Well, he didn't accidentally open up a portal. What he accidentally did was let the portal get away from him. But he had opened up a portal into the realm called the Shadowfell, which is a very, excuse me, I hiccuped again, which is a very dark and depressing place, full of lots of different kinds of undead and things of that nature. And he couldn't figure out how to shut it. And so he hired the one-shots, who are subsidiaries of the Inglorious Few, the legendary party that you guys normally play. He hired the one-shots to come in and shut the portal down, which you all managed to do.
Duh.
Yeah, doo-doo. Anyways, I hate it. But they you guys managed to shut it down, but a lot happened. Tathali was turned to stone by accident, and she still remains a stone statue right now as we speak. You guys saw a lot of different kinds of horrors down there that racked your sanity. You almost died a few times. I know Takashi was just pretty much sitting there on, like, almost dead pretty much through the whole thing. He was almost dead through the whole thing. Like, his health was just, you know, pretty much depleted almost every fight we got into. And then you guys did find the portal and shut it down. Something of note that I'd like to mention about that whole instance was just how well you guys came together as a group. I mean, Sir Solixel contracted ghoul fever and was gonna die and be turned into a ghoul the next day, and the twins didn't let that slow them down. Lucian managed to walk around and shut down chaos orbs with the help of Agaragis, I might also add, because there was a moment there that Lucian was extremely depressed. He had contracted what is known as the Shadowfell depression, which can happen to you when you're in the Shadowfell for too long. And Agaragis sang to them Fleetwood Mac's "Don't Stop," and somehow got him out of that depression.
My God, you're right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was something else. Takashi and Eom, despite their differences, managed to team up and completely ruin my BBEG, my end boss for this entire dungeon, and they managed to wreck him with the power of teamwork and friendship. Eom put him in a full Nelson hold, because of course they would figure out that his dump stat would be his strength. And then Takashi smashed a tombstone over its head. And I promised him that if he could carry that weight and smash it over his head, I would make that damage worth it, and it was. Itarian admittedly got the kill shot though, so it has been a grueling struggle. The difficulty spike between your guys' first mission of just clearing out the ash rats to this was, infinitely higher. And I knew it would be, but I just had to see. Lots of trauma to your guys' sanity, but you all made it out alive. And you accomplished the mission. You finished the fight, as they say. With that said, we actually open up. You guys have not left Dark Gifts shop just yet. One of the denizens that works there at Dark Gifts, his name is Franck. He's a revenant of a sorts. Looks like a patchwork man. He's very large, he's almost 7 foot tall, just pure muscle, but he looks like he's just a stitched together person, like a construct, although he's a revenant. So there's no telling what part of him is actually keeping the rest of this alive. You just know, because he's a patchwork of different body parts, that one of those pieces of patchwork has unfinished business that is keeping the rest of that structure alive, you could say. And Franck comes lumbering in to the shop. Last session, you guys all got together and I just looked at the Discord and saw the meme that Cassid of Rick James. Anyways, and so it's gonna be one of those nights, is it? But Franck comes in and you guys were in the Dark Gifts still, because one of the deals you all made with them is the is somebody typing on something? I'm getting some weird feedback. Anyways, one of the one of the deals with Howard Winchester is if you guys can, clear out his shop, he would also give you each an item for free. you know, and then a discount at his shop from there on out. And all of you picked your items, got the items that you wanted, but before leaving, Frank comes in. He's carrying the statue of Tathali. You know, Takashi managed to lug it around. He didn't want to just leave it behind, and he managed to finally get her at the stairway of the entrance to the basement, and just kind of leave her there for safekeeping, where Crow and Tathali's familiar Uwu, the owl, pretty much just kind of used her as a perch, because they were pretty much done with this basement. That they, you know, they were done traveling around in that basement. Too much, there's just too much fear aura down in that basement that was causing them to be afraid all the time, and they were just like, we're just gonna watch over Tathali's, you know, statue being right now. So Frank comes in carrying Tathali, though, as if it's nothing. And he just comes in and sets her down in front of Howard. He's like, Howard takes a look over, and if you remember, Howard is a very regal looking man. He's got that white, like silver hair, you know, and he wears a black suit. He likes to look, you know, fancy, I guess you could say. And he's just sitting there in his shop, about to tell you all, you know, good day and let you all go about your business, when he takes a look at Tathali's statue, and he looks at all of you, and he's just like, oh my word, it looks like one of you has run into an issue down in my basement. What happened here? And he's just addressing the
puzzle with it.
Ah, I see. He goes, down in my alchemy lab, I assume.
I guess, I don't know.
He's like, yes, well, fortunately, it's not a spell. It's it's an alchemical mixture I made myself. One part blood of the infant and 2 parts cockatrice. He mumbles that first ingredient on purpose, but he's like, and then 2 parts, you know, a cockatrice feather and some of their saliva. Yes,
Squawks.
he's like, yes, he's like, but so a spell won't reverse the effects, but fortunately I have developed a cure for it myself ever since I accidentally ever since my mother came to visit and accidentally came across that probably that same trap your friend here fell into, and so I had to fix her. So he's like, yes, and he turns to Frank and he goes, go fetch me vial number 9, please. And Frank just goes lumbering off for a minute, and within a few minutes, with no time whatsoever, Frank returns, and Howard takes the little vial of some kind of liquid, and he just shakes it up and puts it in a spray bottle and just sprays Tathali with it like he's watering a plant, you know, misting its leaves, if you will. He's just kind of singing to himself, you know, just humming a little tune while he does it. And then pretty soon you guys watch as Tathali's body slowly it doesn't just transmorph back in from stone to flesh. It's like the stone becomes mud, almost. It becomes almost liquidy and mud-like, and just slides off of her form, returning, leaving behind Thali's flesh and her persona there. And Thali, you're still in the position you were in when you were turned to stone, when you were trying to solve the puzzle. You were leaning down and you had been turning some mechanisms and stuff, and this little gun just kind of came out of nowhere. This little syringe just came out of nowhere and sprayed you in the snout with this, and it just instantly turned you to stone. You just froze and were turned to stone. So now you've been turned back, and you're still just in that crouched position that you were in, as if you were no real memory of time has passed for you. It was like 1 minute you're being sprayed in the muzzle by that stuff, and the next you're crouched down here in the top floor of the shop with Howard looking you over. He's like, yes, you should be all right. Maybe a little bit of shell shock, but all the same, you should be okay. Can you hear me?
It springs back in Roxasa. Says, fucking hell!
He's like, oh dear, I fear her voice box has been destroyed. Do you know the king's language? He's like, hey,
you know the Muffin Man.
It's like,
the Muffin Man.
Yeah, the Muffin Man. Oh, who lives on Drury Lane?
Muffin Man.
He's like, you'll be all right. So Thali, you don't know that you have been stoned this entire time. Like I said, it's been like a considerable amount of time has actually passed, but for you, it's felt like seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so there is a bit of confusion there for you.
Yeah.
He's like, do you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She just looks at everybody like, what? What the fuck?
It's like,
What the fuck?
do you know where you are?
She just looks around and is like, not in the basement? Question mark?
He's like, correct. No, so there's nothing wrong with your memory. You knew what you were doing before you were turned to stone. That's good.
Sidehead turned stone?
He's like, yes, unfortunately, you ran into one of my little alchemical traps downstairs, and you've been stoned for, well, I mean, for a while now.
So we're also here, right?
Yeah, everybody's still there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Sessa looks sort of like smirking, sort of chimes in. Well, at the very least, it was in a convenient position to roll you.
Her fingers sparkle. She says, what? I'm not a toy for the cat to play with.
Well, we could have left you that.
She just sighs and then just kind of like turns away.
Thali,
Well, since you're in a stone, you can pick your item now.
Thali, I need you to roll a sanity for me, real quick.
Ooh.
Yeah, a sanity. Basically, just to try and deal with the fact that you've been stoned for, who knows, several hours, And so much time has gone by, and it's as easy as that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you mean it can happen that easy? I can be turned to stone that easy.
I feel like this is rigged. Where is it up there? I have to roll below my sanity, right? On the D100?
D100. Roll below your sanity.
I'm fucking cooked, chat! Hey, winner, chicken dinner!
Wow.
She ain't no punk bitch!
I think you're the first person to pass their sanity. No, I'm pretty sure Agaragis has an iron will too. Like, I'm pretty sure Agaragis' sanity
It has to look at itself. Of course it does.
never gets rocked either. But yeah, I think you're the first one to pass the sanity check in a minute. But I'm pretty sure between you and Agaragis, you guys, yeah, so far, you are the only two that has passed their sanity checks in a while.
If I look like a Gargus, I would always pass my sanity checks. Nothing would be as horrible as looking in the mirror.
I'm telling you, if Agaragis keeps up their fun facts the way that they are, I'm going to make you guys roll a sanity just to have them around. It's insane.
Worse for me because I'm carrying the thing.
Yeah.
The most disturbing thing that we see throughout the day.
Their mycelium can taste. So you managed to just kind of deal with it, basically. We could say Uwu comes flying up now and is happy to see you, and that helps comfort you a little bit because they land on your shoulder and just kind of nestle against you like, oh, you're okay, you know what I mean? Like, oh, and you just kind of...
You know how like animals, when they get kind of spooked, like you can kind of see their fur stand up? That's how she's sitting there just like, what the fuck? Do you mean I was frozen?
Speaking of which...
I'm gonna fucking kill somebody.
Speaking of which, Crow has returned to Agaragis' head now, so once again, Lucian has become an amalgamation of Lucian, backpack mushroom person, Crow sitting on top of mushroom person's head. That would be a sight to see. I feel like people should roll a sanity just to look at that sometimes. But yeah, so Uwu is just kind of nestling up against you, trying to comfort you, because with their limited intelligence, they know that their master was in trouble, and they're happy to see that you're okay. And we could say that's pretty much what centers you. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I've got my bird. I'm not stoned no more.
But he has to die this second.
Yeah.
Maybe later, but right now, nobody has to die.
And it's like Lucian said, at least now you get to get your free gift.
A gift?
Howard's like, well, I suppose, it's not like you really did much down there, but I suppose you are...
You lucky dog.
But I suppose you are a part of this group, so a deal's a deal. You can pick out an item for yourself, and the only thing I ask is that you bring the item to me first, or so I can make sure that I can afford to give it away. We don't want you becoming stone or something worse next time. Yes, quite.
He just raises an eyebrow. She kind of starts meandering towards the stuff like, I don't like it.
So this is, because Tathali didn't get to travel around and kind of learn the shop the same way everybody else did, everybody really did approach their item search with an air of caution, because there is a reason why this place is called the Dark Gifts. a lot of items here can maybe curse you if you're not careful, and or worse. You know, that basement was full of a lot of little things that, you know, Eom's currently walking around with some things that, Howard is curious how they're going to affect him later on. Because normally they should have just really, you know, done some things, but Eom is plant type person, so he is not affected the same way as others are. But is there something that you might be interested in, like weapon-wise, or you know, a bottle that never empties? I don't know. You know, just something. Yeah. What'd you say? Did you say cocaine? Cocaine. The fella's gonna develop a drug habit from having been turned to stone.
Yes.
It's gonna be like Delta Green. Bobby's currently doing rails. I'm pretty sure he's smashing it with the backside of a combat knife.
If I had to say something that she'd be looking for, let me see something. It would be either like items that would help conceal her presence. Very fond of those.
Oh, okay. So you want something. Okay, so and you can always just ask Howard, you know, like Itarion asked Howard, because the only one who's not there right now is Sir Salixel, because she had to leave to go handle some business. But yeah, so but Itarion did ask for something similar, you know, and Howard, you know, gave him a jacket of a type. So yeah, you're always free to ask Howard, you know, but you'd have to be more specific, you know, like what kind of concealment are you trying to do? Something that makes you, like he would say, are you looking for something that would make you invisible, or just more sneaky? How would you like to go about this, per se? He goes, because I do have, and he like snaps his fingers. He's like, Garçon! And one of those spectral forms that hangs around him and disappears a lot comes floating in for a minute and hands him a necklace. And he takes this necklace, and it is just it is a what would you call it? A rose gold colored necklace. You know, that gold that has that rose color to it. The chain is rose gold, and the emblem, the little medallion or pendant that hangs from it, looks like a spider web, you know? He says, I do have this. This is the I don't have a particular name for it or anything. I won it in a card game. The fool. I won it in a card game, and he didn't have a name for it, but apparently, its wearer can, use spider climb. So, and then if you're not familiar with the spell spider climb, it basically lets you, walk around on walls and ceilings like that of a spider. At will. To metagame this a little bit, it would allow you to use spider climb like a spell-like ability, meaning it's got really doesn't have usages per se. It just, you know.
He gently holds out her hand and is like, that would suffice.
Says, there you go. He says, no harm, no foul. Says, he's like, with, you may need to bring it back to me from time to time so I can recharge it. Any of your magical abilities, should your items, if this is a concern for any of you all, should any of your items stop working for any reason, feel free to bring it back to me. It just means that it needs a charge, and I will charge it for you for a modest fee. I will recharge them for you for a modest fee, of course. And he points at you, Itarion, and he's like, you won't ever need to recharge him. You may just need to find a way to silence his mouth. Hubris has a way of just going on and on and on.
Terry gives a balance to this. I'm sure I'll manage.
Says, of course. And he looks at you, Lucian, and he's like, and do take care of that mimic. He has been... I hate to see him go, but a deal is a deal, I suppose.
I promise you will be well taken care of.
It's like, well, then if there's nothing else left, then I suppose you should return to your what did he say? He was a boss, I suppose. You're the one who got you this job in the first place. One Sebastian. Tell him job well done, and that I will be sending his fee to him post haste.
Exposed.
He just looks at you to all. He's like, quite, yes.
Sorry, what was the out of character? What was the cloak called?
A cloak of shadow? Yeah, call it that. Why not? No, because
Sure.
it really doesn't hide you, it just allows you, so call it the cloak of Featherfall. Excuse me, cloak of Featherfall. Yeah.
I can just I can make this cast Featherfall as a standard action or free action.
It's
Or is it
yeah,
just like
it
permanent?
just like if you fall from it works like the spell of Featherfall. If you fall from
Got
a
you.
high place, it will, and if you want to, like he was telling you, if you want to, you can jump from a high place at a distance and it'll glide you down, so you can almost use it like a glider, like a hang glider.
I'll just put in brackets. I'm Batman. Cool.
Yes.
That is the correct way to put that.
Yes. I will allow it.
What was it? The
The what?
necklace spider climb?
Yeah. It's like I won it in a card game against one Madam Web. So you can call it Madam Web's necklace if you want.
And is it activate or is it just an always on thing?
Yeah, it's just it uses it like a spell-like ability. So if you want to just use Spider Climb, you can. You know what I'm saying? Like it constantly just, once you're wearing it, you're basically just able to Spider Climb.
Spell like ability. Say when. Roger that.
Again, not to be too meta, but the spell-like abilities aren't you know, you can't dispel them. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it is a magical item, so they would have to, you know, the item itself would have to be targeted. And won't ever,
Things like this.
yeah. So, like, somebody couldn't target you and say, and dispel, you know, your spider climb. They would have to, like, literally, like, target the necklace, figure out that it's the necklace letting you do that, and target it. And so, while it works like, so it's a magical item, but when you're using it like a spell-like ability, and that's why it can't be dispelled on you. The item itself, though, however, can be dispelled. So keep that in mind. You know what I mean? And so with that, he wishes you all a good day. As you all, we're just going to shuffle you all outside now into the city streets of Kieran. Good grief, these hiccups like to kill me, man. Like, they go away and then they come right back, and when they come back, it's like I'm getting kicked in the chest. But yeah, you all shuffle outside, and out there you run into the Mimic, who Lucian you know, asked to see, and yeah, or asked to have, I guess you could say. And yeah, the one that Takashi named Bartholomew, and he's just sitting there as you guys come stepping out, and there he is, and he just, you can't really tell. And Tathali, you had not seen him, you did not get to meet the Mimic either. So as you step out, you see this treasure chest just sitting outside, just, you know, all nondescript, just hanging out. And it opens its mouth, and you, even though it's got no eyes, you can just tell it's looking at you for some weird reason. And it says, "Well, hello."
Well, you ready?
Actual fuck.
It says, "I haven't met you yet."
What the fuck is this?
This is the item that I asked for.
That's not an item, though. Question mark?
It says, "Actually, technically, I kind of am. I kind of am an item."
How is one sentient and one an item at the same time?
Says, "Well, I mean," and it, you know, and he's kind of a horrendous sight to behold, because I mean, he looks like he should be just a regular chest, like a treasure chest or whatever, but his mouth opens up, it's full of teeth, looks like he's got like a bottomless gullet inside there, and he's just got this long tongue that just, you know, drapes out of his mouth as he talks. And he's just like, I mean, okay, so I don't know where you were hiding when your friends here met me, but I'm what they call a mimic. If that helps.
Yes, it.
Does Tathali by any chance have, like, knowledge of history or
Nature.
nature? Okay, that's
Knowledge
not.
of nature.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's gonna help you here.
I do have. I gotta. Handle animal.
Knowledge of nature and what?
I said handle animal, and I
Oh,
giggled.
handle the animal. Do they have knowledge
Yeah,
of
just spellcraft.
Do they have knowledge
No.
of Arcana?
No, just spellcraft. That's the only other real magical thing I have.
Okay, so you've never heard of a mimic before. You're just kind of like, that's great. It's a mimic. You're a mimic. All right, you know, like
Cool story, bro.
yeah, you've never heard of any of these things of its type before. And he's just like, I'm kind of like a living item. He says that, even he says that kind of confused. He's like, yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm a living item.
Right.
Don't degrade yourself now, dear. There has to be some balance between your level of humbleness and that one's, like, she points at, like, the fucking tree. That one's level of self-aggrandizement. Among woodkind.
He's like, well, I serve my purpose, and that's just what I do. Like, not much more else to me.
Please, you can do better than the orc.
He's like, which one is that? Which one of you is that? He's like,
The one that doesn't snap really good.
He's like, I'm not familiar with these terms, orc, and things. I don't know what that is. It's like, I am just a treasure chest after all.
You have treasure.
Says, not anymore. Not anymore. Howard cleaned me out.
Then you're just an empty chest. That's all.
He's right now, yes, but I can hold any items that. Speaking of which, I can hold any items that you guys are looking to put, for safekeeping. So there's that.
I get back.
Raises out eyebrow very conspicuously.
Says, yeah, I don't really know where the stuff goes. You just put it in, and I hold on to it. And then when you're ready to take it out, I search down in there and I pull stuff out.
Tosses a rock in.
He like when you throw like a treat to a dog, you know how the dog will like lunge at it and snap at it and catch it in its mouth. It kind of does a similar little motion, just kind of and takes the rock. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, that item's kind of worthless, but I'll hold on to it for you. He's like,
And everybody like,
do what?
she just looks at everybody like, okay.
Listen, I think it could be really useful. Lucian's going to approach Bartholomew.
He's like, oh yeah, you're the one that asked for me, right? He said
am.
so. Yeah, he said the tall furry one. It's like, yep,
Okay.
that's what he told me. I don't know what you're called.
Call me Lucian.
He's like, all right then, Lucian. Just for the record too, something else that I'm capable of doing, I can kind of determine the value of the rarity and so on and so forth of every item that you put in me. Like I just did with that rock just now. I can tell you that rock is pretty much worthless.
Oh, I thought that rock's worthless. You spit it out if you want.
And he goes, oh, okay. And you just hear him make this like gurgling sound, and like with the burp, he just and spits the rock out. He's like, unless you know stonemasonry, then that rock might be worth something, but it's just a rock.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of us do.
Oh, what a pity.
I think you mentioned before you can shapeshift, right? Like change your size and stuff, change your form.
No, what I was saying earlier is that there's other kinds of mimics out there who have different forms than me. One of the reasons why Howard and I got along so well was, well, I'm pretty mild-mannered for as far as mimics go. Most mimics are most of my brothers and sisters and my kind are highly aggressive, and I've just always just kind of been a little bit more leisurely about how I do things. And so, you know, Howard just saw me as I was fortunate enough to find, after things kind of went tits up with my previous job, I was fortunate enough to find a new master who was pretty kind, and I just kind of learned from him how, you know, how to be around, you know, society in general. He's like, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, I could hurt you if you need me to. You know, it is my job to guard your stuff. So if you're needing me to guard stuff for you, I can do that. But yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty mild-mannered. But you know, I have brothers and sisters who aren't as much, especially the beds. The bed mimics.
That's great and all. I was talking about your form. You know, your chest form. Can you change it to something else that's easier to travel with?
He's like, oh, don't worry about me. He goes, if you want me to travel with you, I'll keep up.
I was kind of hoping that you'd be a bit more inconspicuous, but
He's like, well, I mean, if you want me to stay out of sight, I'll stay out of sight.
all right.
He's like, don't worry about me, boss. He's like, I'll travel with you. If you want me to travel around or you want me to just be stationary, either or, and I'll stay out of the way.
Okay. That Lucy's gonna look at us, and I guess are we ready to go back then?
Sounds good to us.
Folly just slips on her necklace and she's like, sure. Hey. Showed up, did
With that, all of you begin to walk back towards where you came from. You know the door that you traveled through that brought you here. You all begin walking, and Lucian, you can't help but, as you're walking, you just kind of peek over your shoulder in the direction of where Bartholomew was, and you see that you're walking away from him, you know, and you're just leaving him behind, and you can't really tell, but again, because he doesn't have any eyes, but he's facing in your direction, and you just feel like he's watching you guys walk away, and you're just kind of confused as to how he's going to be able to keep up with you. And when you turn your head back, he's just suddenly right there in front of you, and he's like, did you need something, boss? You were looking at me.
Lucian's gonna kind of do, you know, the cat jump, like startled.
Yeah. What? Yeah, that they do. Yeah.
Yep. Jesus fucking. Okay. Nope. Didn't need anything. Thank you.
Like, all right then. He's like, just holler if you need me.
Okay.
And you begin walking again. And you all make it back to the door. We'll just kind of fast forward this now into your guys' meeting with Sebastian and Hargrow Jawbreaker, now that you guys have returned to House for Risen, you know, now that you all are back there. So you all come through the door and everything, and it does startle both of them at first, both Hargrow and Sebastian, because you guys come shuffling through the door and everything, and Sebastian and Hargrow are sitting there just talking with one another, and they're just kind of like, egad, you know, like and Sebastian just kind of peeks out a window and looks at the sun in the sky and just kind of looks around for a minute. He goes, did you all fail, or what happened?
You serious?
He's like, yeah, yes, I'm serious. You've only been gone for maybe maybe what I would say half a sunrise?
And that little faith in us?
He goes, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you haven't been gone long. It's like you were just, I mean, Hargrow here and I here only had time to have like one conversation, and that was like...
You don't know about... never mind.
He's like, how curious is that? You know, and just because... Oh, what?
Italian just like realizes what's going on and just sort of like runs. Just rest assured, your little job is taken care of.
It's like, oh, okay. He's like, how strange is that? Time. I read somewhere that time works differently in different realms. I wonder if it, you know. What? You know, and just because this is more audio than visual, I know I've described these guys to you guys before, but I'm gonna describe them again. You know, Sebastian is also kind of a regal looking man. He is a liaison for House for Risen, so he tends to dress nice. You know, he's got the long brown hair wears the bifocals, and he's got a finely trimmed beard and mustache, and he wears like a red, you know, cloak, kind of like a cape cloak looking thing, you know, with fine dress slacks and a silver silk vest and a yellow shirt. He's got his pet Lulu, who is just a little, like a little fox, you know, I don't want to say she's a baby, because she's not really a baby. She's what they call a hawk fox, and they are typically like small in size. So she's basically a fox with wings. And then you have Hargrow Jawbreaker, who is a dwarf, and he's just always wearing like leather. He's got tattoos, he's got the big old red beard and mustache and long hair that he keeps tied back, and you know, think a dwarf, you know, who dresses somewhat fancy, you know, in his blue leathers and boots. And he just looks at you guys and he's like, so y'all succeeded then. We won. Good job. See, I told you, Sebastian, that they could do it. And Sebastian says, yes, quite. So what are the, give me the details then. How did everything go?
Well, Well, we went in there. We destroyed some orbs that seem to be connecting the place to the source of the owner's problems, and sort of shrugs. We had to kill a few things, naturally.
So it's interesting. And then he looks at you, Agaragis, and he says, well, Agaragis, you're the de facto leader of this group, since you are one of the... Well, you are a former member, or the only remaining member of the Inglorious Few as it stands right now. What is your assessment of the situation?
I'm imagining Eterian and Tessalixel were like standing in front of Agaricus, and they just part way, like they part to either side and like stand sort of at attention on either side of Agaricus, like they're like some kind of like royal escort.
Yeah. There's Agaragis just like on Lucian's back. He's like, what is your assessment of the situation, Agaragis? How did things fare with this group?
They're fair.
He's like, anything else?
The twins gonna,
Huh?
It's like,
the twins gonna falter and say, that?
Yeah, we're only fair?
I mean, you asked.
He says, anything else you would like to add to your report?
They've been here the whole time.
It says, oh, okay. Hargrove is just kind of snickering in the back. He's now leaning against a wall with his arms crossed, you know, and he's just kind of like, Sebastian says, well, it seems that you all have done well, which means that, the owner of Dark Gifts, one Howard Winchester, will be sending me will be sending this house its payment for your services. Which, each of you will be getting a cut of. So, as soon as the money arrives, I will dish out the correct payment for each of you, and we will go from there. Sound fair to you all?
B.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Says good. Then
Money, I trust your lack of faith hasn't prevented you from doing your due diligence in regards to our arrangement.
or is that the twins asking him about his?
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, actually, I would love to speak with you about that. In private, of course. It is a private matter, I assume.
Yes.
Says, very well. With that said, to the rest of you, you all have done well. You have not done well enough to earn yourselves your own personal rooms within the House for Risen as of yet. We are currently looking into another job for you, but until then, feel free to relax and take advantage of the amenities of House Farizon. The tavern, the shops, whatever you would like to do. And because we haven't paid you yet, we will just open a line of credit for you until you can afford to pay. It won't, he goes, it won't be a crazy amount, of course, but it'll be a fair amount. It'll be enough credit that you can survive off of it until you can get paid, pay us, and you should still have some left over for your, still left over for yourselves. But until then, yeah, you all look pretty rough and disheveled, so I would suggest taking some of this downtime to relax and enjoy the city if you'd like. Explore. I don't know how many of you have been to White Sword or have, but there are lots to do in the town as well, so yes, take advantage of it while you can, because I will have work. If you're still interested, I will have work for you later on. All right. Then he stops and looks, and he just looks down over there by your feet, Lucy, and he goes, where did that come from? And he points to this treasure chest that's just suddenly, like, sitting next to you. He's like, that chest wasn't here before.
Oh, that's just Bartholomew. He's cool.
You name your luggage?
Yeah, Bartholomew, you want to say hi?
Bartholomew just opens his mouth and he's like, how you doing? Hi. Hello.
Lucian's got a pat on his head.
We're going to... Sebastian thinks about it for a minute and he goes, we're going to talk about that, you and I, later on. Okay?
Sure.
Distinctly recall people talking about the inglorious few, and, well, I mean a list of things ranging from shields with human faces stretched across them to elves turning into birds and flying about. And that bothers you?
What the lords of this house decide to do is their own business.
I was just curious.
He's like, however, while you all have done a splendid job, and House Farizon is going to see a substantial gain from your success here today. I'm not entirely sure what that is. In fact, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna roll a sanity check just for Sebastian, because I don't know if he likes that thing so much. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Alright, he's lost 3 points of sanity. He just looks at me. Yeah.
Motherfucker starts twitching.
Yeah, he's just kind of running his hands through his hair. He's like, it's... Hargrow, however, looks at it and goes, oh, that's a mimic. He's like, interesting. He's like, I've killed a few of those before. And then he just goes back to leaning against the wall like it's nothing. Sebastian's just like, So, yes, we'll talk more in depth about this Bartholomew later. Until then, Bartholomew, welcome to House for Risen. You're not allowed to eat anything, or anyone. I mean, I don't know what you eat. Just make sure it's not a person. Make sure it's not a paying customer. Please, go away.
Be gone, heathen.
All of you.
Celestial just whispers to like they kneel down and whisper to the They didn't mention customers who didn't pay.
He's like, yeah, Sebastian's like, he's like sitting in his chair and he's got his head in his hand, like he's resting one elbow on one knee in his chair, and he's resting his forehead in his hand, not even looking at you guys, and with his other hand he's just ushering you out. He's like, go, just go, enjoy, and don't let that thing hurt anyone. And then he just like picks up Lulu and puts her on his lap so she doesn't get too close. He's like, go.
Is he anything for the twin slave as well?
No, he wants the twins to stay.
Yeah.
He is going to speak with them privately. But everybody else, we're just gonna say, leaves, and like he notices that the chest is still there. Sebastian does, and he looks over his shoulder to see, like, because he thinks he's gonna have to call Lucien. He's like, where is he not gonna grab him? And he turns back around to look where the chest was, and it's just gone. He's like, I don't like that either. I don't like the fact that it can do that either. I don't. Did anybody see where it went? Is it just hanging out in here now? I'm going to have to tell the guards.
I'm gonna flap the shop.
I'm gonna have to tell the guards to keep a special eye out for a chest with a protruding tongue. Anyways. I need a martini. Sir Solixel and Itarion, we had some business together, you and I, that I promised that I would aid you in finding your brother. Aaron, I believe is his name.
Let me see.
Let me see. Let me check my own notes as a player. I could have swore that was his name. I might be wrong, but I thought that was his name was.
Bro, I heard so because I was trusting you.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it is Aaron.
Yeah. Okay. He's like, yes, your brother. So I did get a hold of your mother after contact. It turns out that she was kind of worried about where you two had been as well. So that's interesting. But I told her you all were quite fine, and that you had found yourselves work befitting of your stations, as she would have liked to have put it. And I did not tell her about your brother's troubles. I mainly contacted her so I would to get some more information about your brother, see if he had contacted her at all. Turns out he had, actually.
Really?
Yes, it does. He your mother's actually quite worried about him as well. It turns out that your brother might be suffering from some kind, or she fears he might be suffering from some kind of mental break of some sort. He wrote her the most peculiar letter. She sent it to me. I told her I could send Lulu here to retrieve it, and she did. Hawk foxes are quite fast, you know, quite swift. And I got it back. I got it back sometime this morning, actually. I sent for the information, earlier when you all were dealing with the ash rats and stuff. I got on this right away. But yes, the letter your brother sent her, have you always known him to be, this odd?
One would have to define odd.
Well, he sent a note telling your mother that he had found her. At first, your mother thought, you know, this was I might tell you to spare your feelings, but your mother had thought that your brother she had thought this was going to be a moment of joy for her, because your brother began the letter by talking about a woman. Well, I assume a woman because he uses the word her, but the letter said something to the effect of, "I have found her, mother. The perfect one, the goddess. She haunts my dreams. She flows through my every waking hour. She is the air that I breathe. She is the tingle on my skin, like dewdrops in the morning. I feel no rain, I feel no cold, because she is all the warmth my body needs." So naturally, your mother was quite pleasantly surprised about this, because she had always thought that she was, you know, going to pass without being without continuing the line, I guess, because apparently all of her children are estranged. But with that said,
Yes, Joyce did say he was too much of a sniveling coward to ever father children.
well, apparently here's the thing. He becomes very insistent in this letter with your mother. You really must see her, mother. You really must. Her pale skin like porcelain, like that of a statue, chiseled from perfect marble. So smooth, so soft. Clean. She's so clean. Cleaner than I. I must use her, mother. She must wash me. She must bathe me in her essence and make me whole. You really must see her, mother. You must come. Come, let me show you. I will show you. And then you will worship her as well. All will worship her. She is perfect. A porcelain doll. Perfect. Come, mother. And then he left an address. Naturally, your mother thought he had lost his mind. And then he holds out the letter for one of you to just take it to keep for your own personal records.
What in Anali's name?
Says, indeed. So, yes, and you will see that address is actually somewhere here in town. It's just a dive bar here in, Your mother thinks that maybe he has been hitting too much of the what she calls the halfling's leaf, and has found himself just strung out at this bar, and he's been just, canoodling with a common whore. And and when I told her that I knew where you two were, I told her that I would, for a fee, I would send you two to go and fetch your brother and return him to your mother. So this won't be a job.
You told her what?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I kind of need you to do this. He's like,
You'll have to find someone else to fulfill this arrangement of yours.
He's like,
And they'll have to come through me.
it's for your brother. He's strung out just down at one of these dive bars here. You just go, you drop him off in Emerald for your mother, and then you come right back. And I will officially make you one the first members of the Glorious Many. Now, before you say no, let me tell you about all the perks that comes with being one of the Glorious Many. Or
I could care less.
you will have permanent room and board here. You will have your own rooms. You will get to come and go as you please. No weapons or items in the shops will ever be. The only thing we ask of you is that whatever earnings you make outside in your adventures, you give us 15%. So, to cover our costs, our overhead here but think of it. You will have a home base. I know you two like to drift. So you will have your own home base that should you ever need to come back, you can come back and hide out here for a while.
I think they crack and start talking in first. Yeah, it's Arian just says, I'm not some common peasant to be enticed by your legal offerings of gold importing. We will not be sending him back to our mother. I do not presume to know what is best for our familial situation.
Says I see. Well, I'll tell you what. If you can go and fetch your brother, at least I can find a way to get him to your mother so as to help him. She is quite worried about him, and as you saw in that letter, he is quite cracked at the moment. And just for argument's sake, what if it is something worse? Wouldn't you rather be there to get him and make sure that it's
I'm certainly going to get him. Whether or not I take him there depends on his state and whether or not I can find suitable help for it outside of that place.
Says, well, wonderful. Well, we can hammer out the details later. Tell me, how come you never told me that your mother and father first made their money through exports?
That mustn't be something that's gone too far back in my mother's side of the family. It was always military.
So you didn't know that your parents had stocks in exporting goods. I know of your military backgrounds. Yes, your family is quite known for it, actually. I recognized the last name the second I did my research on you two. Yes,
I do
indeed.
some side businesses, as most of our station tend to. And then, but I wouldn't say that is of particular importance to us.
Well,
Just while we're away, don't go making promises on our behalf that you can't keep.
Well, as you know, and I don't know if
You'll
you...
find she's not very forgiving to those who break their word.
I don't know if you're very familiar with the Inglorious Few. I'm sure you are, because they have had dealings in Emerald before. You know, they are the ones responsible of defeating the Unknown, who was worshipped by the Aethar so heavily there. And your family is quite familiar with that. Your mother was quite taken by the fact that she had made a contact who knew these Inglorious Few. The liaison of them, no less.
She would be.
What fascinates me is that you two don't know about your family's export-import holdings. Did they not share that with you?
Is there some agenda to your...
Well, aren't you rightful?
Well,
aren't you rightful
handsome I'm
heirs?
surrounding now.
Aren't you rightful heirs?
Not sure. Haven't checked up on the status of that for a while.
Well, there you have it then. There you have it. We can figure that out as well. I mean,
It's not a concern to us.
oh, it's not right now. But you give it another couple thousand years living your lives and you might want something a little bit more substantial. And until then, you know, I mean, granted, I certainly won't be around at that time, but I can help you get the ball rolling now. You know, listen.
You'll find, human, that not everybody is as unstable and prone to quick changes in temperament as your kind.
Well, that is true. That is true. I am human. And that is why I am as ambitious as I am. My time is limited. Your kind can be as frivolous as they want, as you two certainly are. And that's fine. You've got at least another 1,000 years ahead of you. But that is the beauty of what I'm offering. What I'm offering is being able to begin the ball rolling for something in the distant future for you all, for the both of you. See, you two have the time to be able to make plans that don't need to come to fruition until another 500 years goes by. I need to make plans that need to happen yesterday.
I thought you read on us wrong. I'm afraid to say I'm not as enticing as you believe.
Well, I mean, if I may be candid with you, your mother is quite something else. I will admit. I almost thought she was human. But with that said, she does have an offer for House Farizon involving the export and imports that holdings that they are involved in, and that would help me and my house out as well. So if you two don't feel comfortable taking your brother back to your mother, at least go and take care of him and bring word back to me that he is okay. And then I'll deal with your mother.
You're a man of your words, no?
I wouldn't have gotten as far in life as I have if I wasn't. I mean, I'll tell you this. The lord of my house, one android Farizon, trusts me with his life.
High praise, I'm sure.
It is,
Now,
indeed. He has vanished without trace. I have no idea, nor hide nor hair of where he is at the moment. But the one thing he's not worried about, whatever he's going through, the one thing he's not worried about is the condition of his house. And that is because of me.
I think they simultaneously roll their eyes. But this looks like a son. Well, with your word being as strong as it is, then I won't need to check the letters to see that this is being fulfilled. I have an amendment to this arrangement. I can find it in myself to care about bringing word of my brother back to you, but in exchange, make any dealing you have with my brother, any letters sent or other means of communication, as curt, blunt, and professional as possible. No pleasantries, please.
Oh. Yeah, no. No worries there. No worries there. I don't, if what you're implying, I don't quite fancy the, no, I have my own proclivities and they don't run in that direction. No, it would, it's purely business.
It's annoying, is what I mean.
It's all purely business. And if you want...
I think it's very lost. It says, no, you misunderstand. I could care less if you want to. Well, no, I just want it to be as grating for her as possible.
I will do you all the service of never really letting your mother know where you are. If you get word to me where that you are okay and that your brother is fine, and you give me at least the bare minimum of information, you know, yes, he was strung out with some, you know, trollop. That's all she needs to know, then that's all she needs to know, and I will make sure she knows that.
Perfect.
You know, the only thing I ask is if I am questioned about the validity of my claim, is there something I could tell her that only she would know, some kind of word or phrase or something that I could tell her that she would know for sure, that only you would know, letting her know that, yes, I must have spoken with you. This must be true because only you would know this.
They both kind of scowl for a second and then, regain the composure and say, well, we'll give you that when we come upon the relevant information.
He says, very well then, very well. He says, when you do then, please do. Again, this isn't so much a, if I've overstepped my boundaries, I do apologize to you both. You have to understand, my first and foremost concern is going to be House Verizon, and House Verizon always. We aren't like the nobles in Emerald. In the nobility here in Whitesword, we're really just a bunch of gangsters. And they kill each other on a fairly regular basis. I can't afford for my lord's house, to appear weak at any time. So any dealings and business that I can make that will strengthen my lord's house, that's what I have to do first. It is a nasty business.
Let's just bow and say they both do that very deep sort of final bow and say, rather Etarian says, well, of course, we shall get it to you, and keep in mind, of course, that once we're free again, if you ever need someone dead in defense of your house, we're here for it.
He's like, well, the invitation always stands to come and continue work with us. Perhaps one day you will be interested in having a permanent position as one of the glorious many here of House Farizon. I don't know, though. You, by elf years, are still young, so you still got a lot of living to do, and I understand that, too. I do understand that. I, myself, in my youth as a human, never had the advantage of being able to enjoy my youth as one does when they are in those reckless years. I've been preparing myself for the position I'm at my entire life. So, I had no real choice in the matter. But that's a tell for another day.
Pray we remain more or less as we are. Were it that we grew out of our reckless years, we would be of very little use to you.
Well, then I hope you learn how to control it. Then here's to hoping that you learn how to control it and hone it.
It's kind of shrug. Well, I'd best go catch a sleep.
It's like, well, the address is there, and get word back to me, and our doors are always open. I am quite impressed with how you handled this business for the one Howard Winchester of the Dark Gifts. You all returned, and alive, no less, and that's more than I can say for the last few adventurers who have gone and done work for us here, so that's already a good start.
It was interesting. Next time, well, we're better at killing people.
Do what?
Listen, next time we're better at killing people, for your information.
Well, oddly enough, that will come in handy. Oddly enough, that will be very useful to this house. Yes. Yes, it will.
We shall see them. Until later, Sebastian.
This is Itarion, Sir Solixel. And
I think they just give the dwarf a small wave if he's still. Is he still there?
yeah, the dwarf is still there. He's just been listening.
Yeah, I don't think they acknowledge the dwarf by name. I think they just wave.
Yeah, he just nods at the both of you. Just kind of gives you one of those, like, head bows, not like a deep bow, but just like a quick nod. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
yeah, like a howdy. He just does that to both of you, and then goes back to, like, he's just been quiet. He's had his arms crossed with leaning against a wall, with his back and his, you know what I'm saying, in one of those poses, with his head down, just staring at, like, some spot on a wall, as if he's just in thought, And then, when you two do that, he just nods at the both of you. And, yeah, and Sir Solixel and Itarion make their exit and go to deal with that with their brother.
Yes.
Yep, and so that's our explanation for where you're gonna be until you come back, But yeah, that just means that they're still out there. Just means that they're still out there, bud.
Good exit.
Good exit. Yeah. Crazy exit. I knew I knew they were going to they weren't going to like the fact that Sebastian had made dealings with their mom.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. So we're gonna cut now to everybody else. What is everybody else doing in their downtime? Let's start with Eom. Eom, what are you doing with your downtime right now? This is a time to rest and relax and whatnot. And consider this like leveling up. I said we were going to all level up this session to level 4. So everybody gets to level up to level 4 now. And that's just kind of how we're going to treat leveling up. You know, when you guys get your downtime, that is your benchmark for leveling up. Not every time, but every time you level up, it will be during downtime, if that makes any sense. So, because we don't, just for the audience at home, we don't do XP. I don't bother with XP. We do milestones. So, what is Eom doing right now during his downtime? And I should say, yeah, that you guys are now, again, you guys are welcome to explore White Sword, you know, the city in of itself. So like if you're not wanting to just hang out at what do you call it? If you're not just wanting to hang out at House for Risen, you know, you're welcome to explore White Sword, you know, and the city in general. So like, just give me an idea of what you guys are doing during your downtime. I like that because he's showing me their downtime right now. Did we lose Android? Hello? Android, you still there?
Oh,
Ah.
SpaghettiOs.
Sorry, I was really hungry. I ate all the copper wire connecting them to the internet.
Do what?
I ate all the copper wire that connected them to the internet. I was really hungry. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Did he fall asleep?
I bet.
No way. Did Cassid fall asleep too? They're both just sitting there asleep at the computer. How much you guys want to bet? They just passed out. Well, they might be out, so we'll just we'll jump to everybody else. I mean, they may just be, you know, we got a late start tonight, so they just may be passed out. You know, that's what happens in these, you know, for the listeners at home, we aren't a professional, like, company, group, whatever. Our sessions are chaotic like this from time to time. We do play kind of late at night for what, you know, for what time we're playing. You know, it is 12 o'clock currently where I am, 12 p.m. So that ought to give you an idea of just how late sometimes we have to stay up to play this game. With that said, you know, sometimes our players fall asleep. It just happens. They'll be punished post-haste next session. Dragonz, what is Tathali up to in their downtime?
Climbing on the wall.
Climbing on the... Practicing their wall climbing, huh?
Yep. Figuring this shit out.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular? Because you're gonna be leveling up during this downtime. Is there anything in particular that they're studying?
I wouldn't say she necessarily studying anything.
What does leveling up for Tathali look like? For a druid of her kind, like what does that look like? What does her breakthrough look like?
Would I describe that?
Do what?
I'm trying to think of how to describe that. I think for her, it's almost kind of like almost like an epiphany moment, like she's just sitting there dicking around climbing on the wall, and then thinking about all the different things that she's trying to do, and then just like kind of like the light in her head turns on, and she's like, "Oh yeah, maybe we should be better at X, Y, or Z."
And then she begins to practice that. What about Takashi? What does his downtime look like?
I am currently just admiring the sword that I got and practicing like this with all the swords at the same time, trying to get used to the weight.
Did you happen to read the handout I gave you for the serpent? The serpent thing?
No, not yet.
Go ahead and read that now. Because there is a funny little I did something kind of funny with it. I added like a little something extra to it.
Oh, I think I see what you mean now.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing about that. Do you see the little disclaimer there that talks about that with that?
Yeah, the note at the bottom of it.
Yeah. You see what it says about it? About using it? Yeah.
I gotta yell it. That's me.
I highly expect you to do that whenever you begin to, I was thinking, I was never a huge fan of Inuyasha, but one thing I always did like about Inuyasha was what was that move called that he would do every time? It was something slash or something, and he would always yell it out before doing it. And so that is yeah, so think that. You know what I mean? Like like special beam cannon. Yeah. Does he huh?
I said that's pretty neat.
Yeah. Is he practicing it right now?
No, he's just swinging the sword, getting the feel of it. He's gonna save that for a surprise.
For a day, huh? All right. For the next adventure. So Takashi's practicing his sword play. Tathali is spider climbing around the room. What does downtime for Lucian look like? Tempest?
You just explore.
Exploring where?
Exploring around. Just walking about. Not looking for anything specific, just wandering around.
Is he in the city?
Yes.
Okay, so let me drop this for you then. Because I made like a kind of like a little rudimentary map for anybody who wanted to explore the city. So, and I'll bring that up here on the main screen there. Won't be a static image, but it is an image. So as you can see, you are located in the, so you guys, where House Farizan is, it's in the top, like, north half of the city. Not the piece that's behind the wall. The smaller square up there that you got to go through the extra wall to get there. That's where the Church of the Golden Sword is. That's where the actual palace is. The guard barracks, like the main guard barracks and all of that. And a few other like important, what you would call government business, like government buildings are all located. You guys are in the top portion of this area where the houses look the nicest. And in fact, House Farizan is how do I describe that? It is the one house that is, I guess you would go north from the front gate. You would go just straight north to the very top of that area right there. And then you'll see one house that looks like it's walled all the way around it. And, well, you know what I can do, actually, and I should have done this, and I don't know why I didn't think to do this. I should just put it on the Roll20, and then I can show you guys that way. And I don't know why I didn't do that to begin with. But we'll do it. We'll do it now. And I'll show you where you can go. Where you can go. Yeah, that, you know, it's hard keeping up with like production sometimes because you just don't think about certain things and you're just like, oh, you know what I should have done? I should have just done it like this. But while I'm bringing that up, you can look over that map and I can describe the different areas to you of what White Sword, the capital city of White Sword, actually looks like. And the different places you could go and explore while you're there. Since you're not looking for anything like necessarily in particular, you might just be interested in just, you know, going in a certain direction and just seeing what you run into. While there, you know? Okay, hold on. No, that's not what I wanted to do either. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. That's better. Okay. Yeah, so you just kind of have to ignore the grid, but I can... Okay, now why aren't you letting me mark it? there you are. Now, if you go to the Roll20, you can kind of see what it'll be easier for me to show you the different places that you are. Yeah. So you're actually right here. This is where House for Risen is. House for Risen is right there. Which is the center house of what is known as the Nobles District. Yeah, district. You have, so what you have is to the left, the northwest of that area, you have the nobles that are like House for Risen. These are the guild homes. Northwest. Those are all the guild homes. To the northeast, these bigger houses that are walled around, these are nobles, but they are the advisors to the court. So they're nobles, but they're not like guilds. They're not like House for Risen and these guys. Every single one of these homes here, each noble works for the king as an advisor of some sort. Then these smaller houses, these smaller noble houses, these are the minor nobles. These are nobles who neither really work for the king, nor are they like a guild. They are more like private investors who make little bits of money, but as it was stated earlier by Sebastian, the guilds often war with one another, and they will assassinate each other, kill each other off, this and that. Minor nobles don't really go through all of that because they are private investors, but they don't ever gain immense amounts of lucrative power. You see? If you head east, like just directly east to this little cluster here, that is all the different shops. That is the shop district. Like every kind of shop, whether it be large or small, exists within this district here. And then below that is your common district. This is just the common folk. They're not poor, nor are they uber wealthy per se, not like the nobles, but they're like the middle class. You know what I'm saying? Over here is the lower district. If you look south, I guess it'd be southeast. That section right there underneath the forested area there, that is the the poor district or whatever you want to call it. That's where, most of the crime and things like that take place sometimes, whatever. You have the city park here, which is just a forest that they grew inside the city. And then you have the graveyard over here. So, and then like I said, to the very top there is like the royal district where the church, the palace, and just to give you a little bit of background on how the hierarchy works, even in White Sword, they're not even kings. You don't refer to them as kings. They are sovereigns. And the reason why is because it's kind of like a vote in type of thing. The sovereign is voted in, or he's voted in by a group of his peers. Like the common folk don't necessarily vote him in, but the nobles and, hierarchy, higher ups, they all basically elect the sovereigns. So a sovereign can rule for several years or maybe 1 year or, but yeah. So there is no like permanent bloodline per se, And the reason why I bring that up is because the sovereign who is running right now, Dylan Owens, he took over for one of the sovereigns who is a minor noble by the name of Titus Gordon. So, you know, the nobility basically just kind of elect their sovereigns. It's not like a bloodline type of thing. It's not like with actual kings where the king has a son or a daughter and that's the prince or a princess and that's the future king or queen. That's not how it quite works. It is more like an elected official type of thing. But yeah, that just to give you an idea of how White Sword works, you know. Yeah, so if you're wandering around, that's an idea of where the different places and things you can go. And even though the royal district has this extra wall here in front of it, it's not closed off. You can still go through there. It's just an added defense for if the city gets overrun.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea. You said you wanted to just kind of wander around.
Let's say I'll walk in the direction of the graveyard.
In the direction of the graveyard. Okay. So you just go walking through the town, not looking for anything in particular. Nothing of like high importance or anything like that, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we'll say you start walking in the direction of the graveyard, and we'll actually say that you spend the whole day walking just through the city, just getting to know the city of White Sword. You know, seeing the different people, meeting the different people, whatever. You know, most people stop you because they are, and we're gonna say like Agaragus isn't hanging out on your back anymore. You know what I mean? Not right now because you guys aren't like adventuring. You know, Agaragus went and did their own thing in their downtime. But most people do stop you because the nation of White Sword in general is pretty welcoming to foreign people, immigrants and things like that, or at least they try to be within reason, I guess. So most people are fascinated because most folk have not met a tabaxi. You know, so you've been asked at least a dozen times today, like, what are you? You know what I mean? Like, you know, who are you? What are you? You know, like, never met somebody like you before. You know, however, there is one gentleman, right? One gentleman who does stop you, right? And you can tell that wherever he's coming from, we'll say that what we'll say is that you make it to the graveyard. You know, eventually you just head in the direction of the graveyard, and eventually you make it to it. You know, I don't know if you were planning on going inside or you were just headed in its direction, but you do make it to the graveyard. And as you're approaching it, you do bump into a gentleman who doesn't seem like he necessarily belongs there, or at least in this district that you are currently in. You know, he is a finely dressed man, we'll say he's wearing like a fine tailored like suit, but it almost looks like a military suit. Like something, not like a suit you would wear to like a ball or something, but it is a suit jacket of a type, but it looks like something a man in the military would wear. It's got like brass buttons, and he's wearing like fine white gloves, and he's got a long, fancy velvet cape coming off his shoulders with, gold leaf on it. He's got white slick back hair. He's an elderly gentleman, but he doesn't look so old that he looks feeble. He's just older. You get that look from him that like this dude's seen some things. Just from the way he's dressed, you could tell this man's seen combat before. He may not be an active military service now, but the man has definitely seen a scrap or two in his life, and as he approaches, like he's leaving the cemetery as you're approaching it, and he just stops dead in his tracks and looks at you, and he's like, "Well, my word, son, who or what are you?"
What are you?
Like, well, I'm a human. I thought that would be obvious to you. What did you say you were?
Tabaxi.
A tabaxi. Well, you'll have to forgive me. I'm not entirely sure what one of those is. Where do you...
He just kind of motions at himself. It's like, me?
He's like, yes, I see. Where exactly does a tabaxi come from? I've been on many campaigns in the wild back in my earlier youth, and I can't say I ever ran into a tabaxi there.
Well, I'm from a different realm.
I see. A different realm. Did your family come here during the Age of the Rift and you just grew up here, or?
Nope.
Like, well, you are quite interesting. I'm really sorry if I seem rude and abrupt. I was visiting my wife, who passed a few years ago, and I just like to come here and talk to her from time to time, see if I can't seek her advice on some things.
Does she actually give you advice?
Yes, not in the way that you would think. It's nothing. It's more muscle memory. I hear her through muscle memory more than I do anything supernatural, I guess you could say. I just talk to her from time.
Advice for me?
Well, I don't know, son. What problems are you having?
Oh, no, I'm just any advice.
She would tell you to have a stiff upper lip, I think. That's what she always used to tell me. So a tabaxi, huh? What does anything interesting that you all are able to do? He's like, I'm sorry, like, if you cut off a troll's arm, it grows back. Are you all capable of doing something of that nature? I know that the different races can sometimes... I'm just a human. There's not much anything special that my race does, but I know elves tend to be a little bit more magically inclined, and, you know, like I said, a troll will grow back its limb. Anything that, you know, anything special that your kind does? You are cutting out real bad. I can't hear you at all. You sound like you are far away.
I hate to disappoint you, but I'm just an overgrown house cat that can talk.
It's like, you are a cat. Yes, I didn't want to point that out. I didn't want to say, whoa, look at you. Shouldn't you be drinking a saucer of milk right now?
No.
Says,
Nope.
but I have never met one of your kind before, and I don't think there's another one of your kind here in town, so...
That's because there's not. We don't really leave our realm.
He says, oh. He's like, well, I know of a shop here in, up there in the business district, you know, that serves the best espresso, because yes, there is espresso in this, because why not? He's like, Espacia, the best Espacia. He goes, I serves the best coffee and other types of drinks. You know, they got what they call the bubble water, you know, and it comes in the different flavors. If you don't like coffee or tea, you know, the bubble water comes in different flavors, and ranging anywhere from blueberry to cherry to strawberry, you know, the things. It's like, if you would like to go and have a drink with me and just tell me about your journeys here into our...
You had me at strawberry. Why are we still here? Let's go.
He's like, all right then. He's like, how wonderful. He's like, bully. So we'll just fast forward to you guys sitting there at some little cafe there, you know, just he's drinking a coffee, which is pretty much just an espresso, you know, he's sipping it while you're drinking basically soda, strawberry soda, you know. Go ahead and I don't imagine that there isn't soda in Tyrann. They don't make soda in Tyrann. This is going to be a new experience for you. Go ahead and just roll me a fortitude save real quick. Oh, wonderful. You drink it a little fast and just start coughing for a minute, you know, because you've never had carbonated water before. That tastes like strawberries. He's like, oh, take it easy, son. Take it easy. That's a fancy new drink that they're concocting here, and yeah, it's pretty popular with the young folk. As he sips his... Like, I'm glad you like it. And sips his espresso, and he says, so, tell me, I don't suppose I ever got your name. What is your name, son?
Lucian.
Lucian, pleased to meet you. Lucian, I am Theodric Vaincroft. Some would call me Lord Theodric Vaincroft, but I consider you a newfound friend, and with friends, there's no need for titles such as those. He said, I'm quite curious Lucien, are you a spellcaster of a sort? A wizard, by any chance? Do what?
Yes.
Said, oh, are you good at potions? Do you know how to make potions?
No.
It's like, drat.
But I wouldn't mind learning.
It's like, well, I'd need you to learn fast because I kind of need you to make me a potion. If you could. It's like, you are a stranger to our kingdom here, and to our city, and I can't really ask anybody else of this because I'm known too well around these parts.
Yeah, complete stranger. Got it.
Yes, exactly. Somebody who doesn't know me, and so it means nothing to them to do this for me. And it won't cause me any kind of scandal.
It's not a potion you could just go out and buy.
No. It's kind of a forbidden thing.
Which gets your perks up. Like, no.
Potions.
I need some info here.
Because can I be candid with you, Lucien? Full disclosure.
You just out with it.
I have this son who I love him dearly. I do. I love him. Louiston is my pride and joy. You know, he's my only son. And he of course got married. He married the beautiful G Caprese. And I thought, oh good. Finally I will have an heir. The problem is that Louiston, he's what you would call a philanderer. He likes one woman just isn't enough for him. And so he rarely ever spends time with G.
Where does this potion come into play with all this?
Well, I love Louiston, and I know eventually him and G will have a child, and that will be nice. But I'd like for him to settle down. I'd like for that to happen before I pass, you know. And I'd also like to make sure that my son my heir is a boy. So, you know, it just works easier in our society if the head of our household is the heir. So what I need is I need somebody to fall in love with my daughter, Vaelacy. And so I need a love potion, which are highly illegal because you are playing with the emotions of another in something as chaotic as love, as you know. Love isn't just a feeling, it's a force. The reason why I need the love potion is because my daughter, while Louiston is quite popular with the ladies and every woman fawns over him, Vaelacy, not so much. I mean, I love my daughter, but she is ugly. Quite ugly. She, I don't know why, but I would trust her with a sword before I trust Louiston any day. She's I don't know how else to word it. And so she doesn't have a lot of male suitors. So I was kind of hoping that you could perhaps make me a love potion that I could give to a proper suitor, and then he could marry my daughter, and I am almost positive that my daughter will give me a male heir.
Or you should set your daughter up with one of my companions.
I mean, you haven't seen my daughter. I don't think your companions would
You haven't
appreciate
seen
that.
one of my companions.
Do what?
You haven't seen my companions.
It's like, that's true, but something tells me that your companions... I would have to show you her. Just do me a favor. Think it over. I'll pay you. And just think it over. If you agree to it, come see me tonight at my establishment, and he gives you the directions to where he lives. He is one of the minor nobles, so he lives in one of the minor nobles' homes there in that area that House Farizan, is in. But he gives you the directions there, and he's like, just come see me tonight and meet my daughter. And if you think one of your companions would fancy her, then I suppose that would be great. But if not, let's look into that love potion, yeah?
He just shrugs.
It's like, I've got the perfect male suitor for Velisi. She House Arkwright has 4 sons, and all 4 of them are military men. So House Arkwright is kind of having the same issue that I'm having, just in a different way. His sons are all eligible bachelors, but they're all so busy in military campaigns that they haven't even bothered to stop and think about having an heir yet. The problem is I can't approach Lord Hadrian Arkwright about this because that old sod is such a stubborn son of a bitch. He won't even listen to me. I mean, I tell him, but that's a different story for a different time. Come see me tonight, yeah?
Maybe.
He's like, well, if you agree to it, I'll be expecting you, and you can meet my daughter then. And then again, if you think that you have a friend who would in his eyes, he looks down at his empty cup now, and his eyes just kind of widen at the thought, and he just looks so disappointed. Not disappointed in the fact of his daughter, just disappointed it almost looks like he's disappointed in himself for even like thinking of his daughter as ugly, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell that he feels bad about it because he's got to be just brutally honest, But he just sets the cup down and he's like, she really is a sweet girl. I love her to death. She's got a voice that is like that of a celestial. When she sings, the sun rises. It's just that she could also probably like snap a lot of people in half. She was not born dainty, you could say.
I like the point of in between Lucy and Stan, like responding to he's been living his toughness since our time. Like Dave's not trying to get every little last bit.
Yeah. He's like, oh man, you really like that. bubble water.
Strawberry.
You better slow down on that, son. He's like, well, and he stands up and drops some coin on the table, and he's like, and have another bubble soda on me, or bubble water on me, son. He's like, I'll be expecting you later on tonight. I hope. And good day.
Okay.
And with that, Theodoric Vaincroft begins to walk away and leave you, and the waiter, it's not like, you know, modern times where they walk up wearing a white button-up shirt or anything. This waiter looks like he's 15 years old, you know? He's just a kid wearing a dirty apron. He walks over and takes the coins and looks at the extra coin, and he's like, you want another drink, mister?
Nah, keep that to yourself.
He's like, thanks. He's like, may Heronius bless you. And he walks off, runs off. He's like, oh, I got a coin. It's gold too. And I think that's where we'll leave you, Lucian, on debating on whether or not you're going to meet up with this Theodoric Vaincroft tonight. Since we lost Kassid and Android, I can't really ask them, and Mindok and with what is it? Sir Solixel and Itarion are going to fetch their brother, and that we're just gonna leave in limbo. What about Tathali and Takashi? Is there anything in particular they want to do? Anything in particular they want to explore?
A sword shop. I wish to go look at more swords.
Okay. There is one, actually. The most famous sword shop is let me just pull it up here because I know where that is. Let's see. Well, where do I? Well, where did I put it? Well, it's called Mort's Fort, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and oh no, that's in Cudgel City. My bad. That's why I couldn't find it, because it's not here. That in White Sword. Yeah. You have. You do have. No, you have stuff though. You have guilds. I am tripping. If I can find him now. I hate it when I lose like track of certain like files of certain things that I need to hold on to because I know. Okay, yeah, okay. So you have the different kinds of guilds, right? Mm-hmm. You have the nobles, the noble houses, and they oversee the guilds. There is one guild house that I think you will find interesting, that is known for selling weapons, and it is called the Inner City Trade Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
And as
I like it.
Yeah, as you enter it, you instantly know that this shop is your kind of place because the one running this shop is an orc man. Not like you. You know, he's more tall, more muscular, you know what I mean? He's bald, he's got this huge red beard, that not huge, but this like long red beard and no mustache, just a beard. And he's got this tattoo on his chest of an eagle, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the tattoo's gone. No, he's got nipple piercings. My bad. No,
Nice.
And a nose ring too. And he's got his his tusks and stuff. But he does walk around shirtless. And as you enter in, he comes walking up to you because he takes like one look at you.
Mm-hmm.
And he realizes that you're an orc, but you're not an orc, right? You are the shortest orc he has ever seen, And so he wastes no time walking up to you, and he's just like, what in the nine hells are you?
I'm an orc. What are you?
He's like, no. You weren't an orc, okay? I know orcs, and you are not an orc. You look like an orc, but you're small, like baby. What are you?
Like I said, I'm orc. I'm just not the same as you.
He's like, well, how does that happen?
I'm from a different part. I'm from the South Islands. Where are you from?
It's like, I'm from Luthic.
Do I know that? Do I know what Luthic is?
Actually, yeah, that's interesting. When you first remember in your session 0, when you first arrived to the continent of Siren, you met a blue-gray skinned orc by the name of Soul, who saw you, and because he was actually educated, he knew about the South Island orcs. You know what I mean? He had been reading books and stuff. Remember at that monastery that you were sent there by your... Yeah. So, excuse me, he, and he taught you about the orcs. When he says he's from Luthic, you know him to be a Groomshy orc. While Soul was what you would call a Shagrasi orc. This is a Groomshy orc. And Soul warned you that meeting other orcs besides himself, they're going to approach you with a level of mistrust, because most orcs don't know about South Island orcs, And so he tells you, I'm from Luthic. I'm a Groomshy orc. All right, I don't understand. Are you like a cross between an orc and a dwarf?
No, not to my knowledge. I just come from a different part of the world.
So he starts talking to you in Orcish, right? Like just testing you, which Orcish. You know what I mean? Like even though you grew up in Pangshun, you know Orcish. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a language that your dialect may be a little different than his. You know what I'm saying? But it's Orcish. All in all, it's Orcish. And so he's... Dang it. So he starts talking to you just in Orcish. He's like, yeah? Me thinks that your father was an orc and your mother was a dwarf. That's what I think.
Oh, now.
And he says that...
Nice accusations.
Oh, so you reply to him in an Orcish, and he's just like, oh, you know Orcish. Okay. You know our language. Although your dialect sounds funny, your accent's funny. Like, where'd you say you came from?
The South Islands.
South Islands, huh? Never heard of them. It's like, well, I'm Gorgak, Bear Slayer. I run this shop here for my boss, Vulcan.
I tell him my name is Zaluth.
He's like, oh, that's an orc's name, all right, Zaluth. It's like, it's kind of funny on the tongue, but it's orcish. It's like, I've never heard of South Island orc before. Are they all... And he looks you over now, and he's looking over your frame, and even though you're short, you're actually more muscular than he is, really, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, you're not scrawny, that's for sure. It's like, are all South Island orc as short as you?
To my knowledge, yeah.
It's like, that's crazy. He's like, I wonder why Groomsh would do that. You know of the name Groomsh. He is technically the Groomshai orc's god, you know? They believe he created all orc, that he's the progenitor. You, South Island orc, don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys you guys don't worship Groomsh. And in fact, living in Pangshun for so long, you know, you would either worship the orc god that comes from the South Islands, which they don't have one. They don't actually worship a god per se. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You would either like be that kind of, you would either have that kind of belief, or you might have like you might be like devout to like one of the gods of Pangshun, like Primus or Cass or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Cass especially is the god of, you know, samurai and more fighter type, you know what I'm saying, people. So, you know, so you don't even believe in Groomsh, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, which it makes, you know, the history of Groomsh. It may, you know, because again, you took that crash course with Soul, you know, he explained how orc are here, you know, and it makes no sense to you why they would worship Groomsh as like the father of their kind anyways, because you know, he only died not too long ago. You know what I mean? Like, how old do they think this guy was? You know what I'm saying? Like, but yet they do this. You know what I mean? So they believe this. They think he's somehow the father of their people, or at least the progenitor of them. So you know. But yeah, he's just like, I wonder why Groomsh would make such a small race of orc.
Should have made Takashi where he had like an attitude problem, like a halfling attitude problem with the word short, and try to make him work his way out of that. That'd be funny.
Yeah, I mean, you could. You certainly could, because while Hargrow kind of thought it was cool that you were, as, you know, the size of a dwarf, you know, orcs are gonna kind of act kind of weird about it, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're just not, they're like, what is this? He's like, well, welcome to the shop. What can I do for you, Zalthu?
I'm gonna pull out my sword and ask if he has anything along the lines of that. My Wakazashi.
He looks at, he he looks it over and he goes, well, I don't have anything that style. He's like, that? He's like, do all South Island orc use such thin swords like that?
No, I got might have been abducted, so I'm from Pengshun, but I was born in the South Islands.
He's like, oh, the continent of Pengshun. Okay. I kind of know that. I spent a little bit of time on the continent of Alahazar for a while there. So I'm kind of familiar with that. Not really on the continent of itself. I was in the province of Drazulu. It was a little easier for me to hide there. I don't think that if I were just on the continent of Alahazar, they would have just let me walk around. You know, they don't have any orc there. But in the province of Drazulu, it's mainly jungle and things like that. I could blend in a little bit. He's like, so that's the kind of weaponry they use over there on that continent, huh?
Yes, sir.
Like, I don't have anything like that. And he just kind of, and you know, you're looking around this shop and there's not even a lot of visitors there. You're kind of like wondering how this shop even keeps its doors open because there's not a lot of customers. There's a lot of cobwebs everywhere and most of the stuff kind of looks like junk. You know what I mean? But he does like walk over and grab like a short sword, but it's like it's you know, like a broadsword, you know, it's like a typical sword, you know, and he pulls it out and he goes, I got something like this. I mean, you know, if that interests you. He's like, my business doesn't really, you know, he looks you up and down and he goes, say, and before even like handing you over the sword to even hold it, he just takes it and tosses it over his shoulder, just clunk, clunk. He's like, are you looking to make some money? You looking to make some gold, Zalthu?
Yeah, what you got in mind?
He goes, don't look at this shop and think this is our main, what we do. This is just our, what does Vulcan call it? This is just our cover.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, where we really make our money, where the syndicate really makes money is we lean on people from time to time.
White Soul's the shadiest fucking place, man.
It's like, you know, we kind of, you know, sometimes people owe and sometimes people have to pay. And when they owe and they pay, there's no problem. But sometimes they owe and they don't pay. And then whoever is owed talks to my boss, Vulcan, and then Vulcan tends to send me, or if it's really bad, he'll send the sadist, but we shouldn't really need the sadist, I don't think. I think you and I could probably handle it if you want to help me out. And besides,
yeah,
I'd sure love to show you to my boss. I think
sure, why not?
Yeah. Cool. All right, well, meet me back here later on tonight. And we'll take a walk. He's like, all right. We'll see you later, Zalthu.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I made an orcish grid.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to leave you for right now. What about Tathali? Was there anything else Tathali wanted to involve themselves in?
I ain't gonna lie, I've spent this whole time going over what the fuck is going on today. We're not gonna talk about that.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. If you really don't feel obligated, you know, like if you just really want to spend the time to level her up and just have her meditate and spider climb around the room and figure out her stuff, she can.
The more I think about it, that's probably all she would do. She's not very sociable, you know. She's very skittish anyway, so at best she would only wander around there, and even then that's asking a bit much.
Well, I will say this. After a little while, right? After a little while, Sebastian does come to her room. You know, he doesn't just barge in. Well, not just her room, but the barracks that you guys are currently staying in, you know. He doesn't just barge in there. He gives it like one good knock, just like before opening up the door, because everybody else at this point is gone. I'm gonna say that like Tathali is the only one who hung around in your guys' little bunkhouse. You know, you remember you all are sleeping in the same room, just on like bunk beds or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Until you can earn, well, all except Agaragus, who's got a permanent residence there. But Sebastian just gives it a knock and he enters and he's like, "Ah, good, Tathali. Just the one I wanted to see."
Kind of like hanging from the roof, like, again, testing out what this can do. So she's like, it looks like she's pushing up on the roof and she's hanging from it, like, "Oh, hi," and then just drops down, like, kind of like nervous, like.
He just like, Sebastian watches this whole interaction. He's like, didn't know you could do that. Interesting. He says, well, so it turns out when you first came to us, you were requesting some aid, correct? Something about a mission over there in High Forest? Some kind of job you had to do there in High Forest?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so you do remember, and I told you I would look into it, and we would look into something about the Red Run ruins and finding this lick muck, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, he does. It turns out that lick muck is a bit of a harasser there in High Forest. There is a wanted poster for him. Even there's one even here for him. This lick muck, which I find absolutely fortuitous for us, because instead of going out of our way to go after him on our own volition, we could now take this this job, as it were, and make quite a bit of coin off of that. If you would be interested in still getting our aid to do that.
I mean, why not?
It's like, wonderful, wonderful. I have his bounty poster here from the crier. This lickmuck, of course, dead or alive. If you could bring him in alive, that would, oh, shoot. We'd make, quite a bit more off of him than if you, killed him. But then again, I don't really know why you seek to capture him. forgive me if I sound like I'm prying, but is there any reason why we couldn't bring him back alive that you can think of?
Convenience sake, I believe.
Do what?
Convenience sake.
Oh, right. It'll be much easier to just, yes, dispose of him and then, yes, and then, and then, yeah, I understand that completely. I do, but, let's just say, conveniences aside, let's just say that what if it was more, beneficial monetarily to bring him back alive? Would you be willing to set conveniences aside and just capture him?
I could try.
It's like, that would be wonderful if you could do that. I've currently gotten a hold of the authorities there in High Forest. I have a direct line there, thanks to one of my associates, one Mr. Pedalwine. But, yes, they would be much interested in you returning him alive, and they're willing to pay that price there if you could do that. Then again, if you must kill him, then you must kill him, and we'll still make that much money. But, yes, turns out the owner of one of the shops there also runs this bounty, the Crier Librarium. One Mr. Bertram Palupeus. Are you familiar with him, having lived there in High Forest for a while?
What was the name?
One Mr. Bertram Palupeus.
Is it a bill?
I would let you roll we'll say an intelligence to see if it, because you don't really have many knowledges, right? You got knowledge of nature, but I'd let you roll an intelligence just to see if, like, maybe you had heard of him. That's pretty freaking high for an intelligence check on just a straight freaking ability roll. To roll a 17, I'm gonna say you know the dude's mother. No, but yeah.
We go way back.
Yeah. But yes, you know of him. He lives in the capital city of Highgarden in the nation of High Forest. Bertram Palupeus, he's the owner of the Crier Librarium, which is a library there in High Forest, or in Highgarden. Not particularly renowned for its, like, wealth of knowledge, but it does have some interesting books there. But where Bertram really makes his living is the fact that he also runs the Crier situation there, which is, where everybody gets their news and gets to post, their wanted ads and bounties and things like that. And so, he's kind of a government official. He's not a huge deal, but he's kind of a big deal. You know what I mean? He also can be kind of a sniveling little worm from time to time, so you've heard. You know what I mean? Not really like, not backstabbingly so, He's not conniving. He's just a bit of a sniveler, He's kind of a coward. So you've heard.
What's his name?
Bertram Palupeus. Do you want me to spell it for you?
Yes.
Bertram, Bertram, Palupeus, UPAES. And he runs the Crier Librarium in Highgarden. So yeah, I guess when Sebastian asks you, have you heard of him before? Yeah, apparently you have.
Where was it?
Highgarden.
Prior library. Highgarden?
Highgarden, the capital city Highgarden in the nation of High Forest.
Yes, I give him like he runs the Prior in Highgarden, I believe.
Do you give him like a full breakdown of like he's kind of a sissy type of thing? Do you kind of, from what you've heard?
He just kind of looks at him like he's like, why do you more like of why would you want to know about this? You know what I mean?
It's like,
this guy.
Because I'm currently in dealings with him about this bounty, of course, and I kind of like to know about the people that I do business with. It's in my best interest to know everyone's interests. That's all.
Fair enough.
He's like, well, we do have some news. Your information was correct. He is currently held up, this Lickmuck, in the Red Rum ruins. So I will be gathering more information about that. Apparently there is it is known for cultish activities as well, but we'll be looking into that a little bit deeper. I just wanted to double check with you and make sure that you are requesting our services as we request your services, and I think that'll be our next destination. When in a few days' time, we will all set you and the one-shots, minus the twins, will be setting out for Red Run Ruins in High Forest to collect on this bounty. And then once we're done with that, you and I can talk about whether or not you want to stay on with us and continue to see if you want to join the Glorious Mini, or you can go back upon your merry way. But we'll talk about that once this bit of our business is finished. With that, he's like, okay, well, enjoy the whatever it was you were doing on the ceiling there.
It's kind of like sheepishly shrugs and it's like, okay.
For the record, Tathali, I do hope that after we handle this bit of business, that you decide to stay on with us and continue your application process. House for Risen needs more help in the adventuring department. So, good day. And with that, he strolls out of the barracks, the little bunkhouse, and leaves you there. And so, with that said, and with Android and Cassid being gone right now, I think we will just pick up next week. We will travel forward in time to everybody's meetings that they're gonna have at night and everything, and we will see what Eom and Agaragus did with their downtime as well. That sound all right with everybody?
Yep.
And we will just we'll just put a pause on this session for now and call it good for tonight. And with that said, I want to thank the audience for joining us for yet another session. Thank you all so much. You know, it's always fun. It's always fun. I know that a downtime session is kind of like, oh, well, there wasn't a lot that happened, but sometimes you got to have a downtime session to set up other plots within the deal. It can't just be like constantly running here and then D&D is not a video game, so it's not just a series of fetch quests, you know? There should be some exploration and some mischief to be had, and sometimes you got to have a downtime session in order to set up some of these little minor plots. I want to thank them old school gamers. Mindok. Hey, remember, come back.
Oh my god.
Come back. We'll miss you.
We'll see how the wind blows.
We'll miss you. We'll miss you. But Dragonz, welcome back. It's good to have you back. Yeah, it's good. Calm down. It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. I was missing Tathali, so it's good to finally be able to delve into her character a little bit more now.
Oh yeah, and I'm currently looking at some stuff that may break this campaign.
Well, we'll see.
I'm happy to be back. Oh, we'll talk about it momentarily.
Kassid, Android, you guys are fired. And but yeah, with that said, to you Golden Wonders out there listening in, I love y'all from my heart and soul. And y'all come back now. Stay golden. Say goodnight, everybody.
Peace.
Good night.
Nighty night.